I told you guys the fake kid story.
No.
I didn't, or I said I would save it for the podcast.
The fake kids.
Oh, I know this story.
I don't know it.
Yeah. So I was wrestling in college, and my parents are divorced. My mom lived in Pennsylvania, and I would visit her like every summer for the full summer or long winter breaks or spring break, you know.
Okay.
So like I've like had friends where my mom lived, you know,
Uh-huh.
and there was a town pool, and so if you don't think your boy was hitting double front flips on the, I'm like, that kid's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I made friends very easily, and there was a girl in the town that I'd known since like 3rd grade, you know, and like as we got older, remember when every girl was like, I'm a model, like when Facebook came out, like I don't know.
okay.
Like yeah, I was doing some professional shots, you know, so like so she was doing some pictures like near my college, and she hit me up like, hey, I'm over. I'm like, come on by. So if you don't think I got her hammered drunk and nailed her,
Oh my god.
like, you know, so that happened, and this is not a good move, but like in college, I'm like, you on the pill? Yup.
After?
Like, no,
Okay.
like during, like you on the
Okay.
pill? Yup. Like full send.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
It's
not
so
good.
crazy because now you're like, what the?
Oh my god. Yeah, I would never. So 7 months go by, right? I'm on my way back from the Canada Cup. I get a call from her.
And have you really talked to her in the last couple
No.
months? Okay.
It was just kind of like
That's it.
awesome.
Yeah.
We had fun, whatever. And I'm coming back from the Canada Cup. She calls me like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh."
You knew right away?
No, I'm like, she wants round 2.
Oh.
You know, like, you blame her?
Yeah.
So I get back to school. I call her, I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, when you come home, we need to talk. Like, when are you coming home next? I'm like, whenever you want.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh my god.
and so cuz we really got to talk. I'm like, "Why? What are you, pregnant?" She was like, "Yeah." I laughed at her for 1 hour straight.
Oh my
Just
god.
like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, you're not.
Uh-huh.
I am. Shut up. Just 1 hour of that.
Yeah.
And
Why
that
would
was
she wait 7 months to tell you?
We'll get there.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, so then I was like, oh, we were having keggers like out in the backyard like every night.
Yeah.
And like,
Come on over. We'll talk.
well, no, like I was just like, okay, I'm going to be a dad.
Mhm.
I think I like went upstairs, like locked myself in my room. They're having a party outside, like with kegs. I'm just like, started tucking my shirt in. Like, I'm like, I'm a dad, you know? So then I go to the town. She's full blown,
Full belly.
like
That was the first time
9.
you've seen her since?
Yeah. I'm like, you are pregnant. Like, holy shit, you know?
And
Am I-
you're what? 20?
20 years old.
20. Okay.
20 years old.
20 years old.
You know? And I was a sophomore going into my junior years that summer.
Yes. Halfway
Um,
done with college.
Yeah. So, you know, everyone's like, yo, like, get a paternity test, You know, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a paternity test. And she was like, you don't trust me? And I was like,
Why would I trust you? I wasn't even
I
dating
don't
you.
know you.
well, I do know her.
Yeah,
we
but-
weren't
but-
dating.
yeah. So I just, whatever. And I was like, she's like, this is like, if we're going to have a relationship, you're not going to believe me now? Like, what, like, whoa.
Then you're like, well, now I really want to get a test.
No,
You know what I mean?
I was like, you are hot. Like, I do want a relationship with you, you know? So, I was just like, all right, like, you know, and I didn't. And then I went, any money I made from camp, I'd just be like, so we
No.
would make like $700 or something like that, right? Like in like 2 weeks or.
Yeah, that was supposed to last you like the summer.
I know. No, I would just,
Right.
I remember taking the check and just going like, here. And
Yeah.
any kind of money I made, and her mom the whole time, like, make him quit wrestling and like get a job, you know? And I'm like, this is funding my school so I get a degree to get a good job and take care of us in the future. Like, what do you,
Yeah.
it's
That's
such
so
a,
short-sighted. Quit college and then go work,
She's-
deliver pizza.
she's
Yeah.
a white trash. This is Amish country.
Yeah, I got it.
There's
She's from Pennsylvania or Saugerties?
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
This
she's
is
from
Amish country, Pennsylvania. This the graduating
Shout out
class.
to the PA girls.
Yeah, this the graduating class is 45 kids or something like that.
Okay.
Something like,
Yeah.
and like her mom's this like super obese like babysitter.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Who-
hillbilly algae.
Yeah. And I was just so I'm going to school, and like there was like one day Wednesdays we
How
didn't
many months? So that was she told you at 7 months, and this is going on.
so I'm there. I cut the cord and everything. Like,
Holy fuck! You were in the delivery room.
yeah, it's my kid.
This is. Are you okay?
Probably not.
15 years ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like trauma.
Yeah,
That's
so
wild,
so then I spend the full summer working 2 jobs, right? And then school started back up, and so then my junior year we didn't have morning lifts on Wednesdays. So Tuesday night I would go drive to Millersburg, which is like an hour and a half away from my college.
Damn.
Spend the night with them, come back Wednesday, go to class, and then every weekend we would flip if I went to Millersburg or she came to Bloomsburg. And like my college buddies would be like hanging out with the babies. Like I would like bring the baby up to the wrestling room, put up a pack and play, and like wrestle.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
For how many months?
I did it for a full year.
Oh my!
My junior year, I did the full year. That's what we did.
This is like what, 2009? No, earlier.
No,
8.
this is 8.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, 2008. And then it got kind of bad where like everything that I like was going for changed. Like
Well, yeah.
I know like originally when I was in school I was like 2.0 is fine with me. I'm going to be a national champion,
Uh-huh.
All-American. I'll just do the bare minimum so I could put max effort into wrestling, you know. Then I
Right.
had this kid, I'm like, well, I gotta get on the dean's list. I gotta become father of the year, and I gotta be an All-American. I started putting pressure on myself.
Oh my god.
And like I don't know. I started losing to like people that I should probably
I mean,
crush.
you had
I
a
would've-
lot on your plate.
I would've-
but at a
yeah.
Division 1 level, right? That's even
Think
even,
about, like,
even the scrubs are like
yeah.
tough.
Think about like in college when like 2 college kids just go through a breakup and how
Right.
that affects kids.
Yeah,
let alone
right.
like having
Oh, yeah.
starting a family.
But like without 9 months to prepare, it was just like you're a dad now.
So
almost.
then what happened?
So I actually like one night was like almost like ready to kill myself. Like I would leave the wrestling room like fucking people like, yo, dude, you want to ride down the? I'm like, no. I'd walk and I would just cry.
Oh
You know,
my
just because like I would no, and not because like just because
yeah,
I was
it's a lot of
losing.
stress.
Sure.
I was losing the guys in the room that like I could beat with one hand behind my back, and I'd just be like paralyzed. Like I'd get in the room and just be like couldn't breathe, you know. So like one night, I haven't told anybody this. I took
Oh.
like 20 aspirin, and I was like, if I wake up, like
Stop it.
I swear to
really?
God,
Oh
You were
my-
thinking if I wake up.
You were willing to
Did
take
you
the risk.
throw up?
nothing. Nothing.
You just woke up
You just
sad
slept
still.
good.
Nothing.
You're like, I'm still here.
Nothing.
Nothing happened?
No, I
you feel weird?
maybe I don't know.
Aspirin. How do
It's
you
all I
get
had.
stomach ache?
It's all yeah, probably.
Really? So you're like, fuck it.
I was just like, dude, this sucks. Because it's between her mom being like, make him get a job and like
Yeah.
not producing for the team and winning. Like, I'm a winner.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't winning it in practice,
Mhm.
you know? And just like, my grades were like I was like creeping on like the 2.0,
yeah.
you know? So I think I made a comment to like, dude, last night I tried to I ate like 20 pills to see what happened, you know?
Yeah.
And I think some of my boys like, ha, and like told my coach.
Oh.
So like the one, hey, big dog, come to the office. And I went in there, and my mom was in there.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, big dog, have a seat. I'm like,
You knew
What's up?
right away.
well, no. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you here, mom? He's like, big dog, gotta take you off the squad. And I was like, what? No. Like, he's like, dude, you're gonna kill yourself. Like, I can see like what you're eating yourself alive. And I was like,
That's terrible because it's almost like,
Let's get an eye on the coach, though.
for sure.
yeah, but like,
I
to kick
was-
someone off that and you're like,
No,
well,
he wasn't.
not-
He was
not-
pulling me off the starting lineup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You gotta
pulling
get your shit
the
together.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
okay.
bro, like you're gonna murder yourself. Like, I'm like, no, coach, like I can do it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
of
he's
course.
like, dude, no. And then, dude, I was like for the team. I was like, all right, you know. And then I got on the dean's list. Started like crushing everybody in the room again.
Maybe that's just that pressure of it being off, maybe? Or?
Well, just the competition. I mean, Kyle, like, he probably, he's the champion, but, like, it's just you're competing probably 7 matches a week, probably.
Yeah.
Like, 1 or 2 duels in a tournament, you know?
That's a lot.
And then making weight, and then going to school, and fucking competing.
Making weights, once that's out of your life becomes a lot easier, right?
Yeah, but like
so young
at
too.
Bloomsburg, we didn't have like what me and you know now.
Yeah.
It was just like I would eat a chicken parmesan hero and be like, all right, I just won't eat tomorrow.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just spend another half
You'd
hour.
stand
in the
on the scale holding a chicken parm,
like a soda, like a cola, like a fountain soda, like
all
all right,
yeah.
you know,
So wild.
not even like
And it weighs
all
the
that
same.
mattered was what food weighed.
Yeah.
Okay, finish the story. I don't want to go off on a
no, that's fine. So took me off. Things started getting better. I finish out the year, and then I go when I'm working 2 jobs. My sophomore summer. No, sorry, my junior summer. I moved with my family. I'm doing that. And then my senior year started, and like I had already given back like my scholarship money, but I was still in the room, you know. So then Monday, I would go work 2 jobs. I'd get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, go work at UPS till 8. And then at 9, I'd do landscaping from like 9 until like whenever, you know. And then Tuesday, I'd go to UPS 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning till like 8, drive like 2 hours to Bloomsburg. I started booking all my classes.
Like in one day.
For like, I'd do all my classes and then I'd wrestle afterwards because like, that made me happy. I like being with my boys. And then like, the kid's mom would be like,
why are you wrestling?
Why aren't you back yet? Like, dude, this is like something that kind of makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know? So then Wednesday was the same as Monday and Tuesday was the same as Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, I might not have class at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Or I just worked as much as I could. So I was doing that, and I just like Kyle could probably get to this too. Like, just like my clock, just like I would be driving to work and see like black nothings run across the road,
and I would,
I would just be like, dude, I want to hit a deer so bad,
so I have a couple days
so
off.
that I crash and I'm in the hospital and I can fucking rest.
Yeah,
dude, that's hang on. I wanted to crash.
Yeah.
That's how tired I was. Like, I would legit, between jobs, pull into a parking lot and just shut off the car and, like, instantly fall asleep for 20 minutes and, like, all right, let's go. Let's go make more money, you know?
So this is how much time has gone by?
So now halfway through, right? So, you know how you have that winter break in college?
So it's like
I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I drop out of college and I'm just working 2 jobs. And then, just rent in Pennsylvania, in Millersburg, it was like $425 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I was having trouble making that. I was making like $120 a week at UPS, but I had benefits.
Yeah.
And then landscaping, the guy would pay me $8 an hour under the table and like wouldn't always have my money. Like, oh, hey, next week I'll get you. Like, all right, like sometimes I'd be like a month deep, like, Drew, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, give me my money. Dude.
Yeah.
I'll give you, I only get $200 on my network. Like, all right, and I'll pay the rest. It was like that, Good guy, but just a little fucked up. So then things started like tension, like paying, like she had like a nice, not a nice job, but like
she had a job.
She could easily pay her half of the bills.
Right.
No problem. But for me, I'm like scraping.
Consistent.
Like Drew, we got any work? Nah, sorry, it's winter. Like, all right. Tension started getting whatever. And then fucking girls, not. But one night when I like put it all together, she started going back to school. I'm like, good. Like, it's good. Like, I'll support, So she's like, I got a test. And then I'm going to go work out. I'm like, okay. And she got home at like 2 a.m. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, like I had 3 hours to take the exam. I took the whole time. And then I'm like, you go to community college. Like, it never took me the whole time. I went to a university and my finals never took me the whole time. Like, what do you?
Well, nothing's at 2 a.m. either.
Well, no, it was an evening class, right? And then she's like, then I went and worked out. I'm like, the gym's open. Like, we're in the Amish country. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's open 24/7. I'm like, I don't think so. Turns out she's like dating some guy in Baltimore.
Oh,
you know?
My
God. So we split. Now I'm with a fucking colic 2-year-old. The kid was like that.
Yeah.
Colic, like.
Yeah.
2-year-old now?
Yeah.
That's how much time had gone by.
Yeah, it's 2 years old. I'm dad. It could say dad. I'm dad. And now I'm living with my cousin because like I split up with her, right? But pulling girls when I didn't have the kid. Yeah. Like I just didn't want to be living with my mom, my grandmother.
Right.
Like, if I brought a girl home from the bar, like, like at my cousin's, I had like she got like a little apartment almost downstairs from me, So I'm just like, dude, this fucking sucks. And then what she started doing, and if I didn't confine with her rules, the kid's mom, she'd be like, all right, let's go to a court. And I'm like, ugh.
Oh my God.
Because I didn't make any money. Like, what am I, how much, I wouldn't, like, and she would hold that over me, like, we'll go to court. I'm like, ugh.
And then you're like, fine, whatever you say.
Whatever, yeah. So I'm like, dude, I need to fucking get out of this.
What an evil bitch.
This fucking sucks. Like, I'm 22 years old. Like, in my head.
Were you thinking at this time, like, this might not be my kid? Or you were just like, no, you just, at that point, you were like.
And I was like, how do I get out of this?
You can't.
How do I? Like, the only way I can get out of this is if this is not my kid. So
I was like, that's literally the only, there's no, if it was your kid, you can't.
So I was just like, I've got nothing else to lose right now. Like, I called my old man and I was like, Dad, I'm in a hard spot. Like, can I come home? Because he lives, my dad has there would be easier way for me to make money. Like, Dad, I'll tow any car any hour.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he was like, let me get back to you. He never got back to me. Like, I was in like a dark place. And my old man was like,
wow.
I wanted to come home. I'm like, yo, because I can't, like, I'm raising this kid, but like, Pop, I am not happy. Like, how can I make this kid happy?
Yeah.
How can I make anybody else around me if I'm fucking miserable? Like this.
Felt like such a loser.
Yes. I live in the fucking Amish country, Pennsylvania.
No money.
With a fucking 2-year-old.
No more wrestling.
No money. No wrestling. Like, and at this time, like, I had a chip in my shoulder. I remember going out a few times without I was not wrestling, and some guy would just be looking at me like, what the fuck is this? Like,
right, you're angry all the time, stressed.
Well, no, not that. Because wrestling, you just get it out. And fighting, you just get it out, And so, to answer your guys' question, got me into the MMA, right? So, during this time with this kid, right, a lot of people, MMA was on this big rise. A lot of people were like, Dennis, why? Like, you're such a good wrestler. Why don't you do this? Like, you got muscles, like, you're aggressive. Like, I think you'd be sick of this. I'm like, yeah, I know. I definitely would be good at it, but I just don't have time.
Yeah.
So I made this, like, weird little, like, I told myself something. So then when I got the time, finishing the story, so I got a paternity test. I didn't need the mom.
How did you do that?
You can just send in for a test. Okay. And I wanted the people, like, to come to my house and do it because I'm like, I want
to make sure. Just behind her back?
Or? Yeah. You only need yours and the kids. So, I got a lab.
You don't need her consent.
Yeah.
No.
Of course. Right.
Yeah. So I swabbed my mouth, swabbed it, sent it in. And I didn't have an email at the time because my college account got fucking shut down. I wasn't paying money over there anymore. Right. I was like, account here, So it was in my cousin's email, and I was hanging out with her in the living room. She's like, oh, Dennis, your results came in. Like, do you want...
Did you have any...
So, I mean, have you guys ever got like an STD like test taken?
But did you have any...
Done the test like they do, or it's just when you go... For girls, it's just like when you go for the gynecologist. When you go for your normal appointment, they just do that.
But like, but you don't get the results right away.
No, but did you have any doubt? Like, did you think like this? It could go either way, or you just hoping?
You were like
hoping. In a billion,
No, I mean, because I love the kid.
So did you have any doubt though that?
So
it
hear me out.
Yours?
So work at UPS. You work by yourself. You just loading package trucks. So like, I just ran every scenario through my head. So like, I prepared myself for the worst.
Well, there's only 2 scenarios, right? It either is or isn't.
Right.
Right.
And during like 4 hours a day, just loading by yourself.
So then you get the results.
My cousin's like, Dennis, do you want to read it? I'm like, nah, you can. And she got this kind of like, and I saw, I'm like, I fucking knew it.
Why did you say you knew it? Why would you know
I don't know. I just in my head. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, because he said that in the beginning, you know. Right. In the beginning, he was like,
okay.
Well, no, not even that. Like, my old
Did
man...
she read it in Maury's voice? Or Murray? You are not the father.
So I was like, print that out. And you fucking print that out. I didn't even have a car at the time. I was, like, borrowing someone's car. I'm like, can I use someone? Like, yeah, I guess.
You drove to the...
So I've got a huge chew on my lip. I'm driving on my way to the girl's work. I'm like...
Where's the kid right now?
At her... fat babysitter grandma's. So I'm driving there and I call her up. I'm like, hey, you work? She's like, yes. I'm like, I'm on my way. She's like, okay. Driving. She calls me while I'm driving and like, hey, this doesn't have it. The kid's name was Dawson with a Y.
Okay.
DAWSYN.
You came up with that?
No.
Okay. Was your name on the birth certificate?
It was Bermudez.
Dennis or Dawson Bermudez.
Yeah.
DB.
It was my kid. Okay. I was at the birth.
Okay.
I signed the cord.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm driving there. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking like spit in this bitch's face, like whatever. So I pull up.
You must have been like raging that whole drive.
Oh my god, like fucking extreme, right? So I'm like, I'm here. She comes down. It was raining outside. There was like a little awning, and I was like, get in the car. She's like, no.
I guess she knew right away.
She could probably see like steam coming out of my ears. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? No, get in the fucking car. She's like,
when was the last time you saw her? Oh, you see her because that kid back and forth.
The kids, yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, no. I'm like, get in the fuck, like, come here. So she like walks over to the car. I'm like, get in. She's like, what's wrong? Like, what are you doing? I was like,
oh my god.
I was like,
oh my god.
Who were you with before me? And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're 100% sure Dawson's mine? And she got this like, oh,
she knows, yeah.
She goes, well, 99.9. And I took the paperwork at her and I threw it at her.
1%. 1,000%.
And then I fucking took off.
And that was it?
That was it.
No, that couldn't be it. That was it? You never talked to her again?
Well, she like tried texting me like,
did you?
She's a complete psychopath. She's like, you know.
Did you ever see that kid again? After
well, what she told me, she's like, either you're in the kid's life like you've been, or you're not at all. And I was like,
that's such a hard decision.
No. At a young age, I was like, you think I'm gonna give you the power to do what you fucking have been doing to me?
Yes.
For fucking the last year, you're out of your mind.
She ruined your life at the time. She took everything. I mean,
I wish I like sued her and shit. Right? That's definitely like. Can. Why not? I mean, I was giving her like.
Yeah, you probably could. There's sure. You definitely could.
What would it be though? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably something. Hang on, I dropped out of college. I can't get my senior year back from wrestling.
So then what happened? Then you started to do what?
But even then, it must have been a hard decision to like be like.
So I drove to the grandmother's house, and the kid was there, and he was sleeping. I gave him a kiss on the head, and she was crying because she knew what would happen. She's like, Dennis, I had no idea, like, because I gave you some shit, I gave you a hard time, you know? I'm like, you fucking fell, like, whatever. And that was it.
You said goodbye to the kid that day, and then you never saw him again?
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Was that tough for you?
Of course.
That's
so then, you thought then, I gotta fix my life, or?
Well, no, I was like.
Because you're probably like.
I would be like hanging out with my buddies, drinking beers. And I'm like, I told so many people that if I did MMA, I would be good at it. Like, I would crush people.
So now you're like, fuck it, I can.
So then I went to. Do you know who Steve Blackman is? Do you remember Steve Blackman? He was like the hardcore champ in the WWF.
Oh, yeah.
Like legit, like on TV, like during like The Rock and Stone Cold's era, you know? So he from traveling around with Ken Shamrock, like kind of picked up MMA and jiu-jitsu and all this shit, and like I think he already had like kendo or some shit. So he opened up an MMA gym, and it was like pretty well known
in that area.
Even in like central Pennsylvania, you know?
But it was in that small town.
So it was just like, because that's what everyone thinks, right? When you walk in an MMA gym, like, you're fighting people. So I like, took me a week to like, all right. I went in there, hey, Steve, how you doing? I think he had me sign some stuff. I'm like, where's your toughest guy? He's like, he's in the back. I'm like, all right.
You said, where's your toughest guy?
Well, after that, all that, you're probably like, I want to fight someone.
With no